This episode of the Still Unnamed podcast is brought to you by Audible.com. Get a free audiobook download and 30-day free trial at www.audibletrial.com/TSUP.
And now, it's the Still Unnamed podcast with your host, P.D. Salas.
Hey kids, and welcome to another exciting edition of the Still Unnamed podcast. I'm Pete Salas, flying solo today. I am actually recording in the mobile unit. This is the only time that I've found to record, and this is just going to be me today, just talking, it's probably going to be a short episode, I'm not going to lie to you. Welcome to the show. Thank you for coming back. If there's anybody still listening out there, thank you for joining me and joining us here at the show. The Still Unnamed podcast. I know it's been very, very, few and far between that we've actually made time to record these things, and that is my fault. I'm putting it all completely on me, and that's kind of why I wanted to do this today too, just to kind of get something out there, put something out there in the ether, feed the demons just a little bit. But Mark is not here. He's not sitting in this car next to me. And we're not videotaping either, so it's just kind of like back to the roots. This is back to like the original, formula of what this show was about and why we started it and why I started it. I don't know why I say we. I'm so used to saying we because I'm so used to having Mark sitting next to me, but obviously he's not here. Just wanted to kind of talk a little bit and just say hello. Hi guys, remember me? I have gotten the messages, I've gotten the texts, I've gotten the emails, and I if I haven't responded, I'm sorry. I have been very, very busy. That is not a lie. I know that sounds like an excuse. For all intents and purposes, it is an excuse, but in reality, it's true. I've been very busy. I've been very lazy also. It's not anything against the show or it's one more thing that I have to do, and that takes time away from me, takes time away from Quentin, my son, who you all know. It takes time away from my personal life, and it's not a drag. I don't want to come off as sounding like it's a drag, because it's not. It's really not. I enjoy doing it. I enjoy having, just having the freedom to be vocal and have a platform to say something, to talk. But it has been harder. It's been hard. Honestly, it's been a lot harder since Mark has moved and gone with his family and gotten a house. They bought a house. And he's not my neighbor anymore. He's not right next door. I can't just walk over and be like, hey, fucking put on your pants. Let's do this. As opposed to me saying, hey, take off your pants. Let's do this. But that's a whole other story for a whole other podcast. But yeah, it's hard to schedule him. It's hard to schedule time. I spend a lot of time, away from my house, away from the studio. So that's why I just kind of wanted to dust off the old portable mic, the field mic, and just do this in this quiet car. Hopefully it is quiet. I am running the air conditioning. So, because I can't be fucking burning up in here because I sweat like a fucking hog. But anyway, what's going on, guys? What's new? What is happening? There's a couple things I do want to talk about, but again, it's kind of like hard to talk because I am sitting. I'm actually sitting in my car in front of Jamie's house, and this is the only time I have found to do this. And so I'm talking to myself in my car. I hope her neighbors are not looking at me and wondering, what the hell's wrong with this guy. Because this microphone glows blue. I've never really noticed it out because I've never really used it in the dark. It's pretty late on a Monday night, but I wanted to get this ready for the show to air tomorrow. But anyway, there's a couple things I have wanted to talk about, but I can't do it alone. I can't talk without Mark here because I saw Batman versus Superman. I want to talk about that, but like it's easier when you can bounce off of somebody and weigh in an opinion. Excuse me. I guess I can honestly just say I enjoyed it. Just a brief recap. I enjoyed the shit out of Batman versus Superman. I am not gonna lie. I know that the internet is taking a collective dropping the deuce on it, but I can't agree. I can't agree with some of the reviews that I've been reading. I mean, I thought that it was really, really good. I mean, maybe I'm just a super Batman fan that I didn't care that Ben Affleck was cast as Batman. It didn't matter to me because, quite frankly, I like Ben Affleck. I am a Ben Affleck fan. I don't know if I want to go that far, but I have no problem with him. I think he's a good actor, and you can tell that he is a Batman fan. So it's kind of like this extreme heavy role that comes with a lot of like. There's big shoes to fill. Like seriously, going all the way back to Adam West. The TV show, which, my dad would watch when he was a little kid. Michael Keaton reinvented it in the late 80s. Then there was a dark period of time between Val Kilmer and George Clooney. But then Christian Bale came back and he took the mantle of the Bat and he ran with it. And he defined, for my generation, let's just say my adult generation, my son, let's take it away from me. My son's Batman is Christian Bale. And, that's the Batman that I guess for me would be Michael Keaton. Anyway, with every passing generation, there's a new Batman. So I'm interested to find out like just what someone like Quentin thought of this movie, which by the way, he was there with me. And he loved it. He had no problems with it. So judging by that and just the fact that, excuse me, damn. The internet, like I said, is taking a collective shit on it, and I don't think that it is warranted. I don't think that it deserves that kind of negative feedback. People were saying that it was boring. People were saying that there wasn't enough action. And I'm like, dude, okay, yes, there were certain plot holes in it. I'm not going to try and deny that. There were plot holes that, were glaring and that could have been fixed. Am I saying it's a perfect movie? No, it is not a perfect movie. And I've never said that. I've defended this movie a couple times over the last few days to people who have, I waited a couple of days to go see it because I didn't want to be there for the whole rush and everything. But so people, as you would imagine, would come to me because they know that I'm a Batman fan and a Superman fan. I have both of those character symbols, tattooed on my body. So, obviously they mean something to me. And here they are in one movie. People are going to wonder, hey, what does Pete think about Batman versus Superman movie? And quite frankly, I liked it. I liked it a lot. And I had a good time. It might have been the company I was in. I don't know. I enjoyed my time. I enjoyed that Quentin had a good time. I had no problems with Ben Affleck as Batman. Let's just put that out there. And that was the first thing. As soon as he was cast as Batman, the negativity started building. And I think that's just what happened here. I think that the negative ball of energy was created very early on in production of this film. So it really had to surpass the critics. Like, not only did it have to be just a good, fun film in general, it had to go above and beyond because it was already fighting a losing battle. That's my opinion. I think that too many people were focusing on the fact that Ben Affleck was cast as Batman, and that kind of ruined it for everybody. But I thought he was good. You could tell he's a fan of Batman. You can tell that he enjoyed what he was doing, and I had no problems with him. The outfit was another thing that people didn't like. The costume, I guess, whatever you want to call it. I loved the Batman costume from Batman vs. Superman: Dawn of Justice. I'm going to put it out there. it was based on Frank Miller's Dark Knight Returns, the Dark Knight trilogy, the books that he made, not trilogy. Anyway, he was drawn with kind of the big chest, and he kind of looked fat. I'm not gonna lie, he looked a little fat, but it wasn't. It was like a mesh cloth material that was pulled over like body armor, and he had the short little stubby ears on the cowl, and I loved it. And the big black logo across the chest, it jumped right off the page, right off the fucking Frank Miller page, and I was okay with that. But I've heard that he should be called Kitten Man because he kind of resembled some sort of a feline. I do not happen to agree, so sorry. But anyway, I liked the movie. There were some plot holes. Doomsday was fucked up in it. Not quite to the... Okay, just real quick. I know I'm super geeking out here, but that's what happens when I'm left alone here with a microphone, with nobody to interrupt me. But, real quick, two of my favorite villains were Bane and Doomsday. And that's because Bane, I guess because both of those were the only two that were able to truly break and destroy the ultimate heroes. So I think Bane, I feel like I'm rambling and I don't know exactly where this is going, but sorry. This is what happens again when I'm left alone to my own devices. I end up losing my mind and talking about fucking Batman at 11 p.m. on a Monday night in front of, in a darkened neighborhood. But anyway, the first attempt at Bane was in Batman and Robin, that horrible movie that came out. George Clooney was Batman, and Uma Thurman was in there. I mean, might have been the only part because she was a hot redhead. And Arnold Schwarzenegger was Mr. Freeze. He was pretty good, I'm not gonna lie. Anyway, the fucking point is, they fucked up Batman the first time. I mean, they fucked up Bane the first time around. The last time that they did it with Tom Hardy, I think that they made up for it. Now, this time around, I guess my point is Doomsday was completely fucked up in this movie. I guess not the portrayal. He ended up looking kind of like Doomsday with the bone fragments coming out and just getting stronger. The more that they tried to destroy him, he would get stronger. That's true to the original source material. The only problem is in this movie, Doomsday was basically a clone of General Zod, which is not from the storyline of the books at all, and I happen to be a bit of a purist when it comes to some of my favorite characters, such as Bane and Doomsday, like I said. I guess that's why I'm kind of also critical about Jared Leto's portrayal of Joker that's coming up in Suicide Squad, but we've already talked about that. I'm sure we'll talk about that later. Anyway, yes, Doomsday was a shitty point in this movie, just the way that he was brought into the storyline, but once he was on screen, I kind of forgot about it because there was Doomsday and he was fighting. Dude, I cannot... Dude, who the fuck am I? I'm talking to one person directly. Anyway, the one shot of Superman, Wonder Woman, and Batman all standing up to Doomsday, and they had that really cool slow push in with the music building. That was just fucking comic book nerd boner material. I'm not even going to pretend like I was not excited. I had fucking goosebumps, and that alone was worth the price of the admission to the film. And I'll end it there because I'm sure once Mark and I finally sit down, we will have to mention it, and we'll probably retread some of this. But that was my quick thoughts on Batman versus Superman. So, what else? As per usual, I don't have any notes. I don't really have anything to talk about. I guess I could spend the next few minutes just kind of recapping what I was trying to talk about that day that we were recording the last show, entitled Nature Boy Pete versus Acid Rain Mark. I kind of started telling you guys about this road trip I went on and how I was feeling after I came back. And how all these feelings didn't come flooding to me until I was back home and off the road. And I wonder if that's how, I'm not comparing myself to a rock star at all. But I wonder if that's how like people that travel, like those kind of jobs, like a rock star or a professional wrestler or a truck driver, I guess in general, just someone who's constantly on the road, traveling nonstop, just stopping to sleep and eat and perform, I guess. Let's just put it that way. But I'm wondering if that's like how long that takes to get used to that, for your body, your mind, your internal clock, for everything to just get used to the constant road, the movement and the driving. And I think that's what it was. Like I try to explain it that I felt like it was a extended bout of jet lag. You know, that's the only way I could describe it, because that's really what it felt like. It felt like I was just kind of like floating through life. And it kind of dawned on me as we were recording last time that it might have been like, this is what true life should feel like. Like it awoke something inside me, and I still feel that same way. It has worn off a little bit. I'm not going to claim that I still feel the way I felt 3 weeks ago, where it was still fresh and my body was still getting used to like the time change, the time zone changes, and just the fact that I was actually able to sit and rest and just really, really like reflect on everything. So that has since subsided a little bit, but I'm not going to lie, like the energy and the momentum that I gained on that road trip, specifically the couple of hours I spent at the Grand Canyon, really rejuvenated my soul, and it made me feel alive, and you know, I was ready to take on the world and really truly live, and really truly like look at things for what they truly are, and not really like stop living in this virtual world that we're all guilty of it, myself included. This is not me pointing fingers at anybody. This virtual online world that we all kind of try and live in, and with the social media and the fucking Facebook and the Twitters and the Snapchat and all that shit. Like, and you know, I feel a little bit like what's the word? All of you are saying it right now, yelling it at me. Like a double, like two-faced, like whatever. You know what I'm trying to say? I feel like I'm hypocrite. Thank you, Chris. I feel like a hypocrite because you know, I'm about to post this in a couple hours, and I'm going to put it out on my Facebook and my Twitter and my Snapchat and all that stuff, so that it can be absorbed by you all in this virtual world. So I'm no better, but it's kind of why I've stayed away from it. It's kind of why I've been a little bit quiet on social media, because I am truly just trying to live life in the real world and experience things, you know, as they are. Experience things in the ultimate HD, which is just living it in real life, watching it happen through my own eyes and not through not through the lens on my phone. So, you know, Easter came and went, had a beautiful Easter. Went to church. Jamie was nice enough to invite myself and Quentin to her church, and we had a beautiful time. It was a wonderful Easter. Had a great time, and you know, I felt at peace. It was just one more chapter, one more piece of this ever-changing puzzle that I am putting together. So I'm feeling good. I am feeling comfortable in my own skin, which I haven't felt in a while. And you know, things are good. Things are good, and I'm happy. And for the most part, I'm healthy. Not nearly as sick as I was last year. And you know, things are good. And I just wanted to put this out there and just say hi to y'all. And it's just me and you. Whoever needs this right now, whoever just wants to hear some fucking guy ramble about Batman for 10 minutes, you're welcome. But yeah, so I guess in closing, first of all, let me just say I truly appreciate you guys coming back and wondering where I'm at and wondering how we're doing and if the show's still happening. That shows me that I do, I'm not going to call it a following, but I do have, at the very least, people that listen and people that care. And, if I can entertain, and I'm going to say we because Mark typically has been here with me the last, year. If we can entertain anyone, make anyone laugh, change someone's day. If someone's having a shitty day and they're like, well, fuck, let's see what these two assholes are saying, and they end up laughing 10 minutes into it, then I have done my job. I have served my purpose. And so when are we going to do it again? I don't know. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I've never lied to you guys. I can't say that. I'm pretty sure I've bent the truth once in a while, but I've never purposely come out and lied to you guys. The shows are getting fewer and fewer far between. It's not a weekly show anymore. It's kind of like whenever we get a chance to do it. I'm going to try and do it more often, even if it's just one of these things. It's just one of these State of the Union addresses that I do every once in a while. Next time I'll come prepared with notes, but I really do have some people lined up. I want to talk to my friend Eric Olea, or you might know him as E-Rock. He's a DJ on Q94.5, the rock station. I've known him for a few years. We've got some stories to tell. I want to get one of my mentors on here, Mr. Fred Mann. I want you guys to meet him. You guys need to meet this guy. For those of you who already know him that are listening to this, then he needs no introduction. But like for the other people, the rest of the world who's never heard or the name Fred Mann, he is legitimately one of the most special human beings I've ever met in my entire life. I love the man like he is a father, and I need to have him on here. I need to have him on here soon because, it's one of those things where like you don't talk to somebody for a while and, you lose touch a little bit, and, there's those phone calls that happen every once in a while where you just pick up where you left off. Well, this time I'm going to pick up where I left off with Mr. Mann, but we're going to do it here on the microphones on the Still Unnamed podcast. That's all coming up, and I'm working on that. Mark and I will be back very soon. I promise you guys. Thank you for joining us. Hit the fucking music. Special thanks to my sponsor, Chico's Bail Bonds. Couldn't do it without you, Chico. So on behalf of Mark, who's not here, I want to thank you guys for joining us again. And I'm Pete Salas, and you guys have yourselves a very, very, very happy Taco Tuesday. Thank you and good night.